Hi everyone, I hope you're doing well. So today I actually wanted to record a message for twin flames that are seeking union, and today I wanted to address what you should do if your twin starts to pop back in and starts to come around more frequently. First things first, if you are the feminine energy that is at a more evolved state of consciousness, which means that you have been doing the inner work for some time, meditating regularly, you have spent a lot of time healing, you've gone through Kundalini for sure, and you've reached unity consciousness. And sometimes each person's path varies a little bit, what comes first and what comes after, but generally if you've kind of been through these stages, you will know that you are at a more evolved state compared to when you were in the runner and chaser phase, for example. You can also identify that you are no longer craving your twin in a crazy way. So if that is you, it is, more than likely that if your twin is now starting to come around again, this is the phase where, you are getting closer to union. Now, on the flip side of that, if you are still going through your healing phases, and maybe you've just started doing your meditation and you were previously not too long ago in your runner chaser phase, then, if your twin gets magnetized in, it's most likely that they are not going to stay there forever. And what you want to be cautious of, if that is your situation, is that you do not give your twin too much attention when they show up in this sort of a situation. If you give them too much attention, and this is your scenario, which I just described, then you are most likely going to, begin another separation. So the way that you want to treat it, if this is your situation, is that you let your twin come on in, but you don't pay them a lot of attention and you carry on doing your work. Going back to if you have done the work, you're doing great, you're rather evolved now on your spiritual journey, then, as I mentioned, this may be a time where your twin is ready to come back into union with you. So if this is your scenario, what you want to be cautious of as the feminine energy in the connection is that you are not initiating contact unless you have, let's say, your intuition is really guiding you. And this is very, it's not frequent that this happens. Usually it is the masculine energy that will get magnetized in. So for the feminine energy to initiate contact must be a huge exception to the rule. It doesn't happen often, but it's not to say that it couldn't happen. So you really need to rely on your intuition for that. And now when I say intuition, make sure it's not you thinking with your mind. It genuinely is your intuition. In case there's any confusion, if you're craving your twin, then it's probably your mind. If you are still desperately waiting for union, then it's probably your mind. So, there's some good indicators there to let you know. So typically, if you are the feminine energy, stand back, carry on doing your inner work, let the masculine energy get magnetized back in to the connection for union. Now, let's say the masculine energy does contact you, they want to connect, they want to talk. The one thing the feminine energy can do is really, first of all, don't meet for long periods of time. So, don't spend a whole day with your twin flame if this is your first meetup with them after a very long time. Try and integrate them back into your life little by little. And what that will do is, one, it'll give you the opportunity to gauge where they are on their journey, how they're doing healing wise. If you see any sort of signs of anxiety, anxiousness on their end, then that's a good indicator to you to kind of just stand back. And the one thing for you the feminine energy to keep in mind, absolutely for certain, is you should not at all be moving away from your state of consciousness. You need to be anchored and rooted in to the inner work that you have been doing. So if you start to call them excessively, message them excessively, you need to watch your actions, pull your energy back, and go back to that state of unity consciousness. Because remember, as long as you keep putting effort in from your mind that this connection and separation still exists, then it will. So the more you focus on the separation, the more it will persist. So you want to keep your state and vibration in those higher states of consciousness and operate from there. So as long as you continue to meet them for shorter periods of time, take the conversations and meetups very casually, bit by bit, you will be able to alchemize the frequency on both ends, and union will begin to kind of be steady, and it will become and translate into permanent union for the twins. I hope this was helpful. Thank you so much for listening. God bless.